All Singaporeans living in Hong Kong will need to hold off on Chinese New Year reunions for the second year in a row. The territory is doubling down on border measures to stamp out a fifth COVID-19 wave. Deborah Wong reports.
We usually spend Chinese New Year in Singapore, visiting family and friends, and it's the only time that we can catch up with them as we do not live there.
The longest and the most enjoyable Chinese New Year trip will be for about 2 weeks. There will be plenty of low-hay sessions and bakwa parties.
But for the second year in a row, Lam Pang and his wife SHARON will be staying put in Hong Kong for the Chinese New Year holidays. The Singaporean couple has been living in the city for the past 17 years, visiting home up to 3 times a year before the pandemic. From 5th February, a trip to Singapore will mean a 2-week quarantine when they return to Hong Kong. It was initially a long 3 weeks, until Chief Executive Carrie Lam shortened it to 2 in her latest COVID-19 briefing. So they've chosen not to fly. But the distance has taken a toll.
When our loved ones fall sick, we felt very helpless as we cannot be there, so we needed other friends and relatives to assist us, and naturally we'll be about anxious, but we know the situation around the world, so it's something that we can't handle directly, so we'll leave it as it is and do our best to keep in touch with friends and relatives online.
The couple is among some 15,000 Singaporeans living in Hong Kong. From an on-day workshop to Christmas and National Day parties, the Singapore Association Hong Kong often plan meetups when holidays roll around. But this Chinese New Year will be a muted affair. Hong Kong's latest wave of COVID-19 outbreak has prolonged social distancing measures, cancelled annual flower markets, and stopped restaurant dine-ins after 6 p.m. The strict measures are not expected to be fully lifted after the latest deadline on 17 February.
With our experience in Hong Kong, this deadline I think will always be extended. Then we proceed with the planning when we get a general feel that things are better.
Mark has lived alone in Hong Kong for the past 8 years. He used to make frequent trips home for the holidays, but this year he's not taking any chances.
太多唔肯定啊，都係今年唔返嚟過年啊嘛。
Singapore is among 150 places classified as high risk. Hong Kong has halted transit flights from these countries and banned arrivals from 8 others.
Actually, I bought my tickets to go back already, but then with the current situation in Hong Kong, the restriction on travel, and how they may just ban the country from having any more like influx of guests. So I think that I will not take the risk.
But with an active Singapore community in the city, Mark isn't worried.
They are like your family in Hong Kong already, so you can meet up with them, you can still talk about Singapore, they will still cook Singapore food, just need to make do with whatever situation we have.
As for the Lams, well, they're checking into something a little closer to home for the holidays.
We have booked a staycation in a hotel which has specially designed a Singapore Merlion theme room. So we hope to enjoy the Singapore food and also just to remiss Singapore away from home.